Okay. I'm going to make sure it's recording because on Monday I recorded a video and it didn't actually record. Okay, it's red, so it's recording. All right, dividing rational expressions. So far we've looked at simplifying rational expressions, multiplying rational expressions. And like I said, these in some ways get easier as we go because once you learned how to simplify rational expressions, multiplying was not that much harder. Right? In some sense, it was easier because they're already split apart for you. And now dividing is going to be very similar to multiplying. We just have to remember the rule about dividing fractions. So if I have something like this, there's a lot of ways this can look. Or it could be 1 divided by 2/3, right? If I'm dividing by a fraction, so it might look like a fraction within a fraction. It also might look like a number divided by a fraction.
If it's like
There's a simple rule, yeah.
It's a fraction divided by fractions. How do you know which one is which? Like it could be 1/2 divided by 1/2 divided by.
It doesn't matter as long as you use the.
Oh, it doesn't. Okay.
No. So like, if I were to do, I'm probably going to mess this up. So one option is 1 divided by 2/3, right? But I could also call this 1 1/2 divided by, well, I guess this is the trick, is like 1/2 divided by, okay, I probably shouldn't do this on the video because I didn't review it first. But this would be 1/2 divided by 3, right? Is that correct? 1 divided by 2/3. No, that wouldn't work because those are two different things. That's a very good question. Okay, I'll have to look that one up and get back. I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter, but I can't remember why. All right, so let's say we have a fraction. Like maybe it's really clear. It's like 1 divided by 2/3, something like that. Okay. Typically, there'll be one line that's bigger that shows you which part of the fraction is which. Okay. What do we do to divide fractions? 1 divided by 2/3 or 1 divided by 2/3? Yeah, we flip the second fraction and multiply. Okay. Make sure all of this goes into your notes. So here we'd have 1 times 3/2. Right? One times 3/2. Right? Flip and multiply. So what if they start to look a little bit more complicated? Like if I had something like 2 times p plus 6 over 4 divided by 2 times p minus 3 over p minus 3.
Wait.
Yeah. So now I have some complicated fraction divided by some other complicated fraction.
Simplify. No, flip it.
I just have to flip this and turn that into multiplication.
And then do it.
So the first fraction is going to stay the same. This is still going to be 2 times p plus 6 over 4. The division is going to change to multiplication. And this is going to change to, the reciprocal, right? The bottom becomes the top becomes the bottom. P minus 3 over 2 times p minus 3. And now I have a multiplying rational expressions problem. So now I'm going to look for things that can cancel. The 2 can cancel with the 2. This p minus 3 can cancel with this p minus 3. And I'm left with, that's kind of a bad equals. It's an equal sign. P plus 6 over 4. P plus 6 over 4. And that's it.
Could you do one more?
We're done with that one. Yeah, let's do another example. Example. So this would be if I had something like this. 1 over v plus 10 times v minus 1 divided by v squared
Olive Garden.
over, wait, oops, I did this wrong. Sorry, this goes here. The v minus 1 is here. Over 10. I'll step back in a second. Okay. So it's the same thing. We have a fraction divided by another fraction.
Should we flip it, the second one?
Yeah. So we're just going to flip the second one and multiply. So the first one I keep the same. I don't really need these parentheses here. I did when I wrote it wrong, but now I don't. And then I flip the second fraction. Flip and multiply. And then I have a multiplying rational expressions problem, right? So I need to factor whatever I can factor. In this first fraction, there's nothing to factor. But in the second one, so let's leave that as it is. In the top, I can factor out a 10, giving me v plus 3. And in the bottom, I need to think of factors of negative 3 that add to 2.
3, negative 1.
So we've got v plus 3 and v minus 1. Because 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. And 3 minus 1 is 2. And then I can start canceling. So I have v minus 1 here and here, in the top and in the bottom. V minus 1 here and here, in the top and in the bottom. And so then I end up with 10 over v plus 10. What if I asked you for the excluded value of that?
V cannot
Value.
equal negative 10.
Okay, v cannot equal negative 10.
And that. Yeah.
Because that would make this denominator 0. What else? I canceled v
V
minus
can't equal
1, so v can't be 1. And v can't be negative 3, because that would have made this factor into 0. So v can't be negative 10 because of this piece. V can't be 1 because of this piece. And v can't be negative 3 because of this piece.
Can we work on the homework?
Yeah.
On the homework, there's one other somewhat tricky thing. It's not really, I mean, I think that you guys will probably get it, but I just want to show it to you just in case. Which is, what if you have something like, let's see, p plus 6, p minus 4, over p plus 4. And then what if it just said times p minus
Like, P
It'd
minus
still be
2
over 1.
Yeah, this is a fraction, right? It just doesn't look like one.
Alright.
So we can just make this over 1.
You can cancel the P minus 4.
Right, and then in this example, this is sort of a silly example, but we would just cancel our P minus 4s.
And then it would be P plus 6 times P minus 2.
P plus 6 times P minus 2. And I could actually get rid of the over 1 here. I don't actually need it. It's just important to remember sometimes you'll want to put it over 1 to help you remember, okay, this multiplies times this, and this multiplies times this. What if we had a division problem like that? So what if
Then it
it
would just be
says,
1 over P minus 2.
I'll just make one up, P plus 3 times P minus 5 over P squared minus 25 divided by, and then what if we just had one factor?
Then it would be 1 over that factor.
P plus 3.
That would be
1
How do we
plus
turn
3.
that into
It would be
multiplication?
1 over P.
Yeah, so I'm going to flip this. In order to flip it, I may want to write over 1. And then I can flip and multiply. So P plus 3 times P minus 5 over P squared minus 25 times, so change the division to multiply, flip the fraction, 1 over P plus 3. And then what can I cancel here? I need to factor this. Good, this would be P plus 5, P minus 5. And what can I factor out? Or cancel out? P minus 5, P plus 3.
It'd be 1 over P plus 4.
So then I have just left, I just have 1 over P plus 5. If I asked for excluded values, P cannot be
Negative 5.
negative
cannot
5 from
be
this one,
5. And P
5
cannot
from
be
that
negative
one.
3.
and negative 3 from that one. Yeah. All right. Questions? Yeah.
In our homework, are there going to be 3 fractions something? 3 fractions?
I don't think so. So it would be possible to have 3 fractions. I don't think I did that to you yet. No. This one does not have 3. If you had 3 fractions, just do it like one at a time is how I would kind of approach it. All right.